got two people watching, but let me see. Nightmare. What's up, Nightmare? I don't know if you're still watching. Got Cali Big Dog. Cali Big Dog, what's up, man? I don't know if you're watching. I got four people watching. I started a little bit earlier. I started right at 4:47, something like that. I had set it for 4:50, but hey, but here we are, man. This is part two. Part two. Frank Tica's dropping nice Talking Papas live. Fiendin Friday part two. Now, earlier today we were talking about people feeling attention. As a matter of fact, let me check something real quick. Hey, what's up, Gabriel? Nice to see you. Let me check on something real quick. Okay, I think you guys can hear me. I think you're going to be able to hear me a little better now. Let me just set the microphone here. And let me just check something on my end over here. Okay, here we go. All right. All right. So hopefully you guys can hear me a little better. All right. So what's up? What's up? Shout out to everybody. Frank Tica's dropping nice talking papas. We got four people in the house. Gabriel RDZ. What's up, man? And Hugo Torres. Hey, shout out to everybody, man. Look, it's a Fiendin Friday. This is part two. I want to touch on something that I don't know. I don't think I've touched on yet. I know that we've talked about relationships and shit like that. I want to get in a little more in depth. All right, that's cool, Kelly Big Dog. Good. Because I always have them audio issues with my microphone, man. So I do have a video. I do have a video that I want to play that I want to get into. But before we do that, I'm gonna play one more song. Okay, so shout out to everybody that's here. So four people so far. Hey, that's good for me. Frank Tica's dropping nice talking Papas live. Hey man, you know what we do. That's right, Nightmare. Shout out to you. I'm gonna share one more song with you guys before we get into what I want to talk about. Okay, now this is just my dedication to everybody, just so you guys know. Okay, I got six people so far. Thank you guys for coming in, watching my live. Okay, I want to go ahead and put this song on full blast. The Dramatics is my dedication to everybody out there. What you see is what you get. Frank Tica's dropping nice talking Popeyes live on a Fiendin Friday. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Some people are made of plastic.
Some people are made of wood.
Some people have hearts of stone.
I mean, what you see is what you get, my baby. It's what you get. And the real thing is the best thing yet. The best thing yet. Oh, what you see is what you get. I got a real love. You're gonna get it. I got a real. You got it. What you see, baby, baby, it's what you get. It's what you get. Look at me now. What you see? What you see? It's what you get. It's what you get. You better say it now. What you see? Ha! It's what you get. It's what you get. Every day now. What you see? What you see? Got to be what you get. It's what you get. Got to say what you see, baby, baby. It's what you get. It's what you get. I got to really love what you see. What you see? Got to be what you get. It's what you get. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. It's what you get. It's what you get. I got to really love what you see. What you see? Got to be
That's right. That was the dramatics. What you see is what you get. Is what you get, and that's how it's gotta be, man. Too many people out here faking the fucking funk. Straight up. Too many people faking the funk. And then, they end up capitulating and it's fucking crazy. It's crazy. But Frank Tica's dropping knowledge Talkin Papas live, Fiendin Friday. No, see, that's why I always say, man, keep it real. You don't gotta lie to kick it, man. You don't gotta lie to kick it. You know what I mean? Hey, shout out to everybody once again. Nightmare, Kelly Big Dog, Gabriel, Hugo Torres, Nightmare. Hey, so Machete got let me read this, Machete. I saw this little comment said, Fiending Friday, everybody out here acting normal, but secretly fiending for cash, clout, attention, likes, or somebody else's business. Friday got folks showing their true colors before the weekend starts. This morning somebody asked me something. That's why I want to talk about relationships because they asked me about a situation, and my answer to that situation was, sometimes couples have to do what they have to do. Sometimes someone that's in a relationship has to follow through with what a partner is asking from them, and vice versa. That was my response. And before I saw a lot of what I think you're talking about, Machete. But once again, look, me personally, this is who I am. Like that's why I never came out here faking the funk. I never came out here acting hard. I never came out here talking about bullshit. It's always been Frank Tica's dropping knowledge. You guys know my history, and you guys, if you have questions, you can ask. As long as it's respectful, I'll give you answers. What I won't do is glorify the past. I'm not going to glorify criminality. I never came out here. Rifando nothing, because that's not me. That's not who I am. Once again, I'm a fucking family man. I'm a family man. I'm a husband. I'm a father. What you see is what you get. Every day now, what you see, you can expect to me to be this guy all the time, and I will stay loyal to who stays loyal to me, and we keep pushing together. And I appreciate everybody that supports my channel, all the subscribers, everybody that's in here right now watching. I got 9 people watching. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. This is Frank Ticas dropping us, Talking Papas live. Fiending Friday. Some people are fiending, but you know what? Some people are fiending for love and attention. And I think ultimately, when you're fiending for attention, when you're fiending for recognition, sometimes you may act in ways that you normally wouldn't because you're trying to get that. Just like what we talked about earlier. Some people are fiending for likes, for views, but I think ultimately it all ties into what is it that you're trying to get? Like, what are you trying to get out of all of this? What are you trying to get out of everything you do? And sometimes when you're in a relationship, you have to ask yourself, what is it that I'm trying to get out of this relationship? My sister Oakland, everything. Saludos, hermano y todo, still at work. Man, you're a hard worker. Hey, but sometimes I'm on that hustle too. Sometimes I'm working 12, 13, 15 hours. Other times I catch up and I only work a few just to see what's popping up. But yeah, shout out to you, Oakland. I'm here again, live once again on Fiendin Friday, Frank D. Maybe I'm fiending to jump on the lives. Maybe that's what I'm feeling for. I'm feeling to jump on the lives. No, I mean, I'm just taking my time. I'm checking everything out. I'm looking at the scenery. You know what I mean? That's right. Hi, Oakland. And, sometimes I just got to come out here and give my 2 cents in. But like I said, so I think relationships are complicated to maneuver through in any stage of life. When you're growing up and you have that, like in junior high, and you start like seeing somebody, that gets complicated too because you're caught in the situation of you're trying to find yourself, you're trying to have friends, you're trying to have a social life. At the same time, you maybe like someone, you want to be with them, but there are limitations when you're young. So relationships when you're young are complicated. And I know that as adults, sometimes we look at our kids and they're going through shit and we're tempted to say, oh man, but when I was young, that's nothing. Look at me now. But no, you got to remember when we were young, man, when we were young and we were maneuvering through life, there was shit that for us was a big deal. And relationships is one of those things. Having a relationship, having someone you can trust, having good friends, trusting friends. All of those things are hard to come by sometimes, especially now in this age of social media and digital friendships. You may think that you're dealing with people at a certain level, and then it turns out that they were faking the funk. They were faking the funk. That's kind of fucked up. But that's why I'm telling you guys, what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. I don't fake the funk. That's why I can't come out here and speak on certain things, because I'm not going to fake the funk on none of you, and I'm not going to dumb it down. I'm going to keep it real 100%. Frank Dika's dropping nice Talkin papas. We're going to talk a little bit of papas. I'm also going to drop a little bit of knowledge. We're going to get into something. I got a video set up. We're going to look at that, but let me catch up with these chats. Let's see. Nightmare, what's good? Mr. Frank, sure hope all is good. Oh, yeah, all is good, brother. All is good, All is cool, man. We're chilling. We're chilling. Playing ba- playing Gangbanger for YouTube like it's a Netflix series. Hey, bro, look, man, that's why I have never come out here pretending to be something that I don't already say. Once again, I'm primarily a father. I'm primarily a husband. I'm a worker. I'm a son. I'm all of these things, But and I'm loyal. And I'm loyal. I'm loyal. I try to be as 100% honest. I don't disclose everything because not everything needs to be disclosed. There are conversations that are had in the background sometimes that, I think you could, monetize on because it would be interesting. But once again, who you see in front of you is who I am all the time, regardless of, the contrary to popular belief on that other side. I am who I am. Shout out to Popeye, to my friend Popeye, my homie Popeye, also Popeye the Sailor. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. That's all that I am. All that I am is who I stand to be. That's why, once again, what you see is what you get. Frank Tica's dropping non-stocking Popeyes live on the Fiendin Friday Part 2. Some people are just fiending for companionship. They're trying to look for someone to trust. And sometimes we put people in weird situations so that they can prove to us that they're the right person, right? And but sometimes that's out of insecurity. Like if you got to continuously test your partner or have your partner go through tests of loyalty to prove to you that they're loyal, that they love you, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. Why are you so insecure? Like, why are you so insecure about that shit? We're going to talk about that. Ms. Yaya, saludos, Frank and Chad, sending my love and respect. Hey, right back at you, sister. You know what's up. You know what's up, man. I got much love and respect for you, for your family. Shout out to everybody that supports my channel. Got 17 people watching. It's all good. You know it. Don't stop. Frank Tico's dropping non-stocking papas on the Fiendin Fridays. Part two is part two. We're gonna bump a little bit. I'm gonna throw. If you guys have a request, if you want to listen to a song, let me know. Put it in the chat. I do have a video set up that I want us to watch. It's not too long. I'll just let it play through, and then I'll build upon it. But yeah, sometimes people are fiending for attention. They're fiending for trust. They're fiending for love. They want to make sure that the person they're with is with them 100%. But then again, are you showing that you're there for 100% as well? Or are you just, is it all just take, take, take? Because some people just love to take and they don't love to give. Some people love to dish it out but don't like to receive it. If you're going to play the game, you got to play both sides of it, all of it. Earlier this morning when we were on the live, I said this, if you're going to play the game, if you're going to come on YouTube, you got to be prepared for the trolls, for the haters that are going to come out of nowhere for no apparent reason but to troll and to hate. It is what it is. It comes with the territory. You have to develop the thick skin, and you have to understand that there are people that fiend for that negative attention. That's what we talked about today. But likewise, in relationships, there are people that are fiending for loyalty, for trust. They want to feel secure, but yet they do everything within their power to destroy the relationship. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. Does turned his past into a whole damn franchise, less street credibility, more content credibility. Yeah, but and he's not the only one. But he's like the blueprint. That's why when we talk about these fools, I always say these fools are cautionary tales. That's why we keep driving the point using them, because they're constantly out here proving to you and me, and to anybody that has a fucking, los cinco sentidos, that they're fucking full of shit, that they're the worst type of piece of shit. But anyways, you got some fools out here batting for them, doing their dirty work. Machete is fucking crazy. Same here. My weekend started. Hey, that's right, Nightmare. Yeah, my weekend. I'm on. This is my Friday. Friday's my Friday. Friday's my Friday. So we're all good. We're all good. Play what you see is what you get. Everything you say it, sing it. I sing it in my head. Yeah. Well, I just played it. I played it, Oakland, but I'm gonna play it again before we get out of here. I'm not gonna be on here too long because I was on here earlier. I did my live earlier. I've got 16 people watching. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I have the link set up. If you want to jump on and say what's up, or you want to ask me a question, whatever, speak your mind, you can go ahead and do so. Ftdk's dropping on his Talkin Papa's live. But anyways, yeah, man, some people are fiending for that shit. Now I'm gonna be 100% with you guys. Like I said, I'm always 100% with you guys. I used to be in relationships and I had nothing to offer. Just the need to have someone in my life, just the need to not feel alone. But at the same time, I was out there doing stupid shit, getting caught up in some dumb shit. And I wasn't really even thinking about how that was affecting the relationship, and if the person was even, obligated to stay in a relationship with me if I wasn't putting my part. What was I bringing to the table? A lot of times, what we bring to the table is a bunch of fucking baggage, a lot of insecurity. What we bring to the table is fucking, paranoia. No, who are you talking to? Why are you going out with your friends tomorrow? Where are you guys going to go? Where are you going to be at? And you want to know it all because you're insecure. You got to remember, man, the person that you are trying to court or that you're trying to be in a relationship with, they have a life that they've lived before they met you. They didn't just start living because they met you. And I think that that's one of the issues that we have sometimes with these people, even online, with all of these weirdos and shit. My life did not start when you saw me online. I wasn't born the minute that I went live. No, I was born back in 1976, and I've been living a life, and I've been in relationships, out of relationships, marriage, all kinds of shit. Raising children, getting jobs, getting fired from jobs, firing people from their jobs. I mean, I've run a gamut of shit. I've done the whole church situation. I understand what it is to be in the church, to serve in the church. Like I've run a gamut of things in my life. I didn't just begin to live the minute that you guys saw me on YouTube. So once again, I'm not out here looking for shit. I'm out here putting shit out, putting out my opinion, putting out my point of view because of what I've experienced. So, now some people come into our spaces feeding attention. That's what we talked about today. But when you're in a relationship, are you really getting what you deserve? And are you really putting in the work that you're supposed to put in? That's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. Hey, what's up, Mike Morello, Cuba, my brother Frank Saludos. Sorry I jumped in late, but I had yard work. Nah, don't trip, bro. We've been here about 26 minutes. I'm not going to be here too much longer because I do have stuff that I got to do later on. I'm going to kick it with the family. I'll check out the live with ET later on. Shout out to ET. Shout out to Exposed Tube, man. Shout out to ladies of Exposed Tube. Shout out to Taco Stain, Hangman Stranger, Katie Frizzle, Sooners, Chirps, everybody that's putting their content out there. Little White Ferret, Ghost. Man, go check them out. Runner's Pug. Shout out to everybody, man. It don't stop. We do what we do all the time, every day. That's right, Nasty Pun, Stockton in the motherfucking building. Ciao. That's right, man. That's right. Miss Yaya Oakland, Nasty Pun. That's right, Mike Morello. But yeah, listen, in like my mind's playing tricks on me. In the song, my mind's playing tricks on me. There's a verse, the second verse that Scarface has when he talks about I had a woman down with me. You guys recall that? But he says I had a woman down with me, but to me it seemed like she was out to get me. And then he says she helped me out in this shit, but to me she was just another B. Now she's back with her mother. Now I'm realizing that I love her. Now I'm feeling lonely. My mind's playing tricks on me. When I heard that shit like a long time ago, because obviously I heard it when I was still a kid, it didn't really ring too much as truth. I understood it. I kind of got it. I understood obviously the lyrics behind it, but it wasn't real in my life because I was looking for acceptance. I was still looking to find my place on this earth. Like I'm trying to figure shit out. But when I started getting into relationships and I realized that sometimes I wasn't bringing anything to the table, but just my baggage, just my bullshit. And I'm expecting for this person, for this woman to be in love with me, to be faithful with me. And all I'm doing is fucking drama. Like I'm out there getting into fights, fucking doing stupid shit, like, tripping out on her because she's going out. Like, why are you going out? Like me being all jealous and shit. And a lot of times we're in relationships and we're the toxic motherfucker. We always complain about, oh, my ex and shit. Yeah, but why is she your ex? Like, what did you do? You must have done something. It takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. Frank Ticas Rapinas Talkin Papas Live. ASNY2, what's up, Frank? Weekend mode activated. That's right. That's right. Hell yeah, Mike Morelos. Hell yeah. Shout out to Exposed to. That's right. Shout out to Exposed to. Salute everyone. Hope all is well today. Unknown. All is well, bro. All is well. Just usual drama. Usual drama. But once again, I think that it is important that we understand that when we get into a relationship, we also bring something to the table. What do you bring to the table? Like, what do you bring? Like, do you bring compassion? Do you bring understanding? Do you bring love? Do you bring patience? Do you bring help? Like, are you going to help the person that you're with? Or are you just expecting to drain the other person of their resources, of their attention, of their love, of everything? And when they can't do it because maybe they got to do something, what happens? Is it all of a sudden now you doubt and shit? Because one day the person couldn't be there. Maybe they wanted to go out with friends. Maybe they wanted to have a fucking, in the case of men, they wanted to have a girl's day out. And you're over here tripping. Oh, there's probably going to be guys over there, huh? You better be calling me every half hour and shit. Like sometimes we are like that. And it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. And if you're still out there doing that shit, it's fucking time to wake up. Because that what you're doing is you're fiending for control of the relationship. then you don't have no trust. Like, you cannot be in a relationship if you can't even trust anybody. And sometimes you can't trust people because you can't even trust yourself. Because you know, and you're thinking, if I was in a situation where I'm with my friends, away from our women, and we're out there and we're getting drinks, or we're kind of partying, I might flirt with someone. I might flirt with another woman. So you judge based on your condition. You're projecting. A lot of times we're projecting our weaknesses, we're projecting our fears, we're projecting all of these traumas and all of this baggage, and we project it on the person that we're supposed to love, we're supposed to protect, and we're supposed to nurture in a relationship. Straight up. Frank Dica's dropping nice Talkin Papas live. It took me a while to understand that because I was still navigating through life. But then when it finally clicked and I look back, I'm like, damn, I left a lot of problems in my wake. I was in relationships where I was not there, I was not present, yet expected the other person to be there anytime I needed it. That's kind of fucked up. And sometimes I may have been in relationships where it was more of a physical thing, and maybe the other person wanted more, and I wasn't ready to give more. And I look back on that, and I'm like, when I was young, I was still trying to figure shit out. But now that I'm older, like the word says, when I was young, when I was a kid, I thought like a kid, I played like a kid, I did shit as a kid. But when I became older, when I became a man, I put childish shit away. But some of us are over here 40 years old, 30 years old, 50 years old, acting like straight kids. Jealous about the wrong shit, looking stupid, straight up. I know I look stupid. Like, now when I look back on, like, all of the little scenes that I made, like, the jealousy, like, and trying to act like as though I was right. Oh, you went out with your friends, you didn't tell me. That's fucked up. You see. But wait a minute, did I give my girlfriend the trust that she wanted to go out? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I was being an idiot. And sometimes we just got to realize that the idiot sometimes in a relationship is us. We're the idiots. Sometimes we're the ones that are asking for too much and we're not giving shit. Straight up. Frank Dica's dropping out stocking Popeyes live. It's a Fiendin Friday. Some of us are fiending for love. We're fiending for attention. We're fiending for trust. But what we bring to the table is nothing but drama, nothing but bullshit. Sometimes even violence. Like, I'm thank God that was never the case with me. But but there are people that bring violence into the relationship and expect the other person to understand, like, well, you got to remember that I come from this type of lifestyle. I'm still trying to figure it out. Yeah, but while you figure it out, maybe you shouldn't be in a relationship. While you figure it out, maybe you should not bring somebody into your mess. Straight up. That's right, Machete. Shout out to OG Mike Morello and his bro. OG Mike Morello and his bro. Shout out to you. You checking on your partner so much you ain't in a relationship. You're running a damn investigation. Love is supposed to have trust, not a 24/7 surveillance ship. Man, but some people live like that. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, so that's the whole point though, Machete, is like, do not be in a relationship if you cannot trust or if you don't bring shit to the fucking equation but drama and bullshit. Like, you want to just have someone to control while you're out there doing your own thing. There's people that live that way, men and women. Because I've seen some women get down like that too. Fucking crazy. No, they'll leave their kids with the dude, and then they'll take off and party, and they'll meet dudes, and they'll get with dudes, and then come back home like, oh, sometimes it's payback, sometimes because the dude has been doing it as well, and the only ones that get affected, if there are any children, are the children. You know, a lot of times people cheat out of vengeance. A lot of times people act stupid out of vengeance. Like, why is there even vengeance in a relationship? Like, is that even a relationship? Because if you got something against your partner and you're constantly thinking about how you're going to get back at them, that's not a relationship. That's a fucking war. No, you got a fucking war going on in your life. How you can't expect positive shit to come out of it. There goes my neighbor. There goes my neighbor again. But you can't expect anything positive to come out of violence, to come out of jealousy, to come out of mistrust, to come out of dishonesty, to come out of suspicion. Like, if that's how you're living your life with a relationship, then you're fucked up. Let's see, Monica de la Cruz, love this live. Thank you. Well, thank you, Monica, for jumping on. You know, Frank Tica's dropping on Talking Papa's live. Yeah, I come to you guys, and whenever I bring subjects like this to you, once again, it's because these are things that I had to figure out on my own. You know, I was, when I was younger, when I was insecure because of the drama that I had gone through, you know, I brought that drama to relationships. And now, you know, when I think back, like I told you guys, like just last week, you know, an old like girlfriend from ninth grade, like we ended up talking again on Facebook, and it was a good conversation. She's married. Obviously, I'm married. I got my kids. You know, but one of the things that I told her was, hey, you know what? I apologize if when I was young, I treated you or I did something disrespectful because I was not thinking straight. I was a kid. I wasn't even ready to be in a relationship. I was just in a relationship because everybody else was in a relationship. And obviously, I was attracted to, you know, since a young age, you're attracted to women. You want to, you know, want to kiss, get your little scam on, whatever. I was doing the same thing, but I wasn't ready to be in a relationship. Knowing a lot of times we want to be in relationships and we're not ready for it. If you're not ready, if you still doubt, if you still have traumas, you got to get rid of that shit before you bring anybody into your mess, man. Straight up. Sometimes we're out there and we look cool as fuck, and you know, 3 days later, fuck, you wake up and that person's over, like standing over you, like watching you sleep and shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, you really should think about who you're getting into a relationship with, you know, and you have to walk into these things with your eyes wide open. You know, you cannot leave anything to chance. Like, if you see something weird like happen, you're going, you better pump your brakes and check it out. That could be a red flag. That could be a huge red flag, but you're just letting it slide because maybe you're attracted. Maybe you like this person, how they feel. Maybe you like the whole physical aspect of the relationship, and you just lose your mind and you get into a relationship, into a long-term relationship with a fucking weirdo, guy or girl. It tends to happen. Tends to happen, you know? And that's where you get all the messy fucking breakups. If you didn't use protection and there's a kid involved, now there's a kid involved and you don't want to be with this person. They don't want to be with you. They resent you for ruining their lives, and that becomes a war. All because we weren't thinking straight. No, so once again, you know, everybody's got to do what they got to do. And I learned from my mistakes, but I come out here, I share these things with you so that you can analyze, like, what kind of relationship are you in? You know, and what are you bringing to the table? What baggage are you bringing? Like, what drama, what trauma? I mean, there's probably some good things too, right? I mean, if you're loyal, if you're respectful, if you're a hard worker, you know, if you do like things that are positive, I mean, you can bring a lot of positive things into a relationship, but is that the case? Is that our case? Why do you think people stay with each other even with all the drama? Because, so there's a lot of factors, Machete. That's a very good fucking question. Why do you think people stay with each other even with all the drama? So I'm gonna go in levels. Okay, I'm gonna speak about that a little bit, and then we're gonna play the video. Okay, well, that's an excellent question. Number one, people stay with each other because it becomes a codependency. Like somehow, some way, you end up in a cycle where you can't let go of this person because you've already got too much shit invested, even if it's drama. And now sometimes that drama is circular. It's like what I was mentioning earlier. Like now you're in a relationship, but you're really in a war. Like, okay, you did that to me. Now I'm going to do this to you. But and you won't separate because you're like, I'm not going to give that person the satisfaction of leaving me, and I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of leaving the relationship. Sometimes that shit happens. It's fucking crazy, but it's true. Some people will not leave the relationship knowing it's a fucking hellhole, just to not give the other person the satisfaction of knowing that they quit. Like I'm not gonna be the one that quits. It's crazy. Like I've seen that at work too. Like where someone won't quit their job even though they know that it's a fucked up job, even though they want them to quit, but they don't want to quit. It's like, no, I want you to fire me. So you're stuck in a fucked up job just to not give the owner, the boss, the management the satisfaction of firing you. It happens. It fucking happens. So I think that's one reason is to not give the other person the satisfaction of, hey, I'm the one that's going to walk away from this because now it's like, oh, you see, you're the one that left. You're the one that left me. You're the one that ruined the relationship. I've seen that shit happen all the time, bro. Like I see it. I mean, and with adults, and I'm not talking little kids. I'm talking adults do that shit. That's why I said the other day on my live, you don't want to get involved in a situation, especially if it's in the courts. But hey, people will do what they want to do. They want to keep fucking rehashing that shit. Oh well, that's on them. Now, another reason why I think that people stay with the drama is because of what society might think. El que dirán. In Spanish is el que dirán. What are people going to say? Like, what are people going to say when we've all, like, we take pictures together, we post shit together on social media, we do all these things together. We've built this reputation, we've built this image. What's it going to look like if we separate, if we break up? And there are people that are together for years so as not to give society the satisfaction of saying, oh, look, they broke up. Look, they couldn't hang. Look, their relationship didn't last. A lot of times people stay together because of what other people think, because of society's expectations, for all the wrong reasons. Hey, the irreverent one, thank you so much. Hey, shout out to the irreverent one, sent gold coin, 10 jewels. Hey, man, thank you so much, bro. God bless you, man. Thank you guys so much when you donate. I truly appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. I got 15 people watching. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're talking about Fiendin Friday Part 2. Some people fiend relationships, but they don't fiend them in a sense of, I want to be an active participant in it. It's more like, I need someone in my life because I don't want to be alone. That shit happens. Hey, Runner's Pug, salute to the chat. Happy Friday. Hey, happy Friday to you, brother. Hey, shout out to Runner's Pug, man. That's my brother. That's my buddy right there, Runner's Pug. Hey, back when them TikTok battles were on and popping, man, you were fucking putting in work, and you still put in work, brother. Shout out to you, man. I know you put out your content. Go check out Runner's Pug. Yeah, so I think that and another reason why they might stay. So I'm going to give you two more reasons, Machete. Another reason why people might stay is because of the children. They think that the children need both mom and dad at home. Sometimes divorces are expensive, and it's much easier just to separate. But sometimes you separate within the same home because neither of you have enough money to fucking move out. That's right, Runners Pug, Egyptian Lover, Frank, in chat, much respect. Hey, shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to you guys. Thanks so much for stopping by, for watching and supporting. Sometimes people stay together because they can't afford a divorce. It's much easier to separate and just, live in different rooms. Continue to share the costs of everything, but everybody's doing their own shit. Like I've seen that shit too. You know, and then but it's usually they say it's for the kids, and in part it's true because if you separate, then there's a whole financial situation that might not allow you to care for your kids. So if you put your kids above everything, you might resolve to stay with the other person while you raise your kids together. Divorces are hard. Hell yeah, they're hard. But anyways, custody battles are hard, and those custody battles are there even if there wasn't a marriage. But I digress. And then another reason why, and this is the worst reason, right? The worst reason to stay in a relationship is under blackmail or under threat of violence, or if there's already violence within the relationship. No, and sometimes people, for fear of Maybe not them. Maybe they're afraid of the children getting hurt. Maybe they're afraid of a loved one getting hurt because this person threatened their loved one. Or maybe this person threatened a friend that they think, or a coworker. No, like, hey, I know you're seeing that guy. If you fucking leave me, I'm gonna go blast that fool. It's like, oh, wait a minute. They don't. I'm not even with that person, but out of fear that this person does not go and do that shit, or out of fear of violence, people stay in relationships. And I think that that's the worst type of situation. Like, if you are stuck in a relationship out of fear of what might happen if you leave, like you're afraid that they might, kill you, beat you, or someone that you love, that's the worst kind. And it happens. And you would be surprised how common that shit is. You would be surprised. That's why I think that you once you start getting involved in people's relationships, like you start getting into that, it's like, wow, do you really want to be a part of that shit? Because that shit might be crazy. It might end up blowing up in your face. So I'm gonna tell you guys a little story. I think I may have shared this on a video, but like a video, one of my old videos, I may have shared the situation. I don't know. I'm about to share a situation with you guys that I was involved in that had nothing to do with me, but I caught the consequences for it. Look at Joker. That old lady took the refrigerator, coffee maker, the bed, everything. That's why he sleeps on the futon. Yeah, that's why, bro. Yeah, I've got futons as couches, but that's because they're comfortable. Even took the took the salt, took the coffee, took the pepper. Fuck. Joker was like with a few cups for it. That's funny, bro. That's funny. That's funny, Egyptian. Hey, shout out to you, Egyptian. Shout out to everybody that's watching. I have 15 people watching the live. Shout out to everyone. It's Frank Ticas dropping on Talking Papas live on a Fiendin Friday Part 2. Shout out to ET. Shout out to Ladies of Exposed Tube. Shout out to everybody, man, that continues to rock with my channel. Those of you that have subscribed, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm close to getting 600. We'll see what happens. But I appreciate everybody that subscribed, everybody that likes my videos. If you haven't hit the like, please hit the like. Go watch the videos that I drop. Today, I'm not going to drop a video. I'm going to work on something and I might drop it this weekend. I might drop like a short or something on Saturday. But there's another video that I'm kind of working on by request that I should have by this Friday. When people give me suggestions and they're like, "Hey, Frank, can you do a video on this?" and they supply some of the screens that I can use, I'm like, "Fuck yeah, we can do that." Obviously, I always put my spin on it. Frank Tica's dropping on Talking Papas live. Fiendin Friday, Part 2. What do you bring to the relationship? What do you bring to the table? And that's what you got to ask yourself before you even think about being in a relationship. Like, what the fuck do you bring to the table? What are you gonna do? Taco stain. It's on for life. Wonka, Captain Sabo. Hey, that's my brother. Hey, look, that's my brother Taco Stain. Shout out to Taco Stain, man. You know what's up, bro. Hey, I don't know if you saw my live this morning because I did a live this morning as well, Taco. And that's what I said. I'm like, man, Taco Stain's a man. He's a father. He's in his home. He's working. He's doing what he has to do. But he made it very clear. I remember, Taco, when you were, when the channel started, and you were like, man, how come all the trolls go over to Tica's channel? Why don't they come over to my channel? And I was like, hey, that's my brother right there. He's ready. He's ready for the battle. So, shout out to Taco Stain. And I know you're prepared for it all, man, but I got your back, bro. Anything you need, any suggestion, anything, I got your back, brother. It's all good. Frank Tica's dropping nice Talking Papas live, and we keep doing what we do. But yeah, man, I believe you have to have some sort of maturity level. Okay, I think you have to have some sort of maturity level to even think about being in a relationship. Now, if you want to be in one night stands, go ahead. There are a lot of people that are down for one night stands. Straight up. Like, there are people that are down for one night stands, busy people. People that are, focused on getting ahead in life. People that want to, they're focused on their career. Maybe they travel around. They're cool with one night stands. I've met a lot of women that are cool with one night stands back in the day. I'm sure that there's still a lot of people like that, women, men and women. But if you're not going to bring anything positive to the table, If you know that there's a lot of shit that you still need to fucking work on, like you're still a jealous ass bitch. No, you're still trip. You trip on the stupidest shit. Like, do you really want to be in a relationship? You're gonna be stressing yourself out day in and day out. You're gonna be like, did she wake up already? Okay, she woke up. How come she hasn't written to me already? You're supposed to call me. I was expecting your like, motherfucker. Maybe your stomach hurts. Maybe she has diarrhea. She's in the bathroom and shit, and you're over here tripping because she hasn't said hi to you. And once again, shit happens. I mean, I had to learn because I was a pest. I was a pest. Like I could already see me being a pest. Like, hey, how come you didn't write to me? How come you didn't call me? Well, back then it's, hey, how come you didn't call me? Hey, are we gonna go out? Why? Why aren't we gonna go out? Why do you want to go with your friends? Like I was a little pest, man. But I was young. I was fucking dumb. I didn't know. I hadn't started working on myself yet. But once I started like understanding, like, man, I was like, fuck, I could be a toxic, I could be a pest. And see, I try not to be a pest. I don't think you guys would like to see Frank, being like one time I dropped a video called Frank the Bully. I'm truly not a bully, but I could be. But why would I want to bully people, man? And see, that's the whole thing that I don't get about certain shit that goes on YouTube. Motherfuckers want to be bullies. They want to be all crazy. They want to be hardcore and all of this, just to end up breaking it down. You just end up breaking it down, and then your whole get down looks suspicious. That's right, Taco Stain. Taco Stain, my brother Ticas. Taco Stain, what's up, suck? I see you, my boy, keeping it a buck. Stay dangerous. Yeah, stay dangerous, brother. I caught the last of it. All right, Taco Stain, you know what's up, man. But I did mention you, bro. So you can go check that out if you want. That's right. I see my boy Machete. Hey, irreverent one. That's a gaming capybara. Hey, thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much for your donations. That's 20 jewels. Cali Big Dog, what up, bro? That's right. Egyptian Lover is in the house. Machete is in the house. Taco Stain is in the house. We got Oakland listening in the background, who's still at work. Runner Spug, the irreverent one. Monica, I don't know if you're still listening, but thank you so much for stopping by as well. Mike Morello, SNY Tube, Nasty Pun, Miss Yaya, everybody, man, that stopped by to say hello and is listening in the background. Gabriel, all of you guys, thank you so much for being here. You know what's up, man. Yeah, I got a futon too, Frank, but I don't have a hole in it. I'm not. Yeah, futons are cool, but not as your primary bed and couch. Hey, Egyptian Lover, thank you so much, man. Send me 10 gold jewels. May God bless you, bro. Thank you so much for everyone that's supporting me, man. But anyways, let me go ahead and play this little video. I'm just going to play it all the way through, man. It's about 5 minutes. But yeah, let me go ahead and set this up. Now, we're talking about fiending. Sometimes we're fiending for love. We're fiending for love in all the wrong places. Yeah, we're fiending, man, but we don't know how to act. Like we want the other person to fucking do all the legwork. That like we deserve it. Like we can't do shit on our own. We need to get somebody else to do most of everything. Nah, man, if you're gonna be in a relationship, you better see and make sure that you're bringing the right shit to it. If you're bringing drama, if you're bringing all of these things, you might not be ready to be in a relationship. Straight up. It says the only relationship rule that matters. That is the name of this video. This is the School of Life. All right. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Shout out to everybody that's always down to support my channel. Frank Ftdk's dropping nice talking Papas live. Let's get this.
Some of us will require the better part of a lifetime to learn a very simple sounding lesson that should have struck us as obvious and urgent from the start, that the only love worthy of the name, the only love we should ever be interested in, is reciprocal love. In other words, a love where another person is entirely as convinced of us as we are of them, where another person is every bit as present in the relationship as we are, a love where we never need to persuade or beg, a love where we aren't left anxious and agitated by evasions and ambiguities, A love where we don't have to wonder where they are and when they'll get back to us. Where we aren't repeatedly up in the early hours, writing them messages, explaining what we hope for from them. Where they never cease to be entirely there for us, as we are there for them. And they are profoundly grateful that we are in their lives, as we are grateful that they are in ours. This isn't arrogance or entitlement. This isn't too much. This isn't neediness. It's a basic law of emotional reciprocity that will strike us as peculiar or off-putting for only one reason, because we haven't yet learnt what we're owed, because we've come from a very deprived place, because we were, somewhere early on, trained to despise ourselves. What nonsense we may sometimes accept in lieu of this essential and rightful fare. How many years or decades of life we may already have wasted mistaking pain for love. Times when we will have insisted on imagining that they didn't love us back, that they were just too shy to say so. Times when we sat patiently and politely with them while they tried to decide whether they should be with us or with a rival, and we felt their dilemma so acutely. Times when we paid for everything, and they returned the favour with half-heartedness and forgotten birthday presents. We might have had a marriage behind us, in which almost every evening we had to fight for our case. We had to struggle to have basic things about our needs heard, that we needed their touch, that we wanted them to be more present, that they couldn't stonewall us. We might have got involved in all manner of so-called complicated relationships, where the person seemed a little loving at first, and then very much not so in the long run. But there is never any such thing as a legitimately complicated relationship. The other person either honours us or they don't. They're either on the other end of the rope as firmly as we are, or they don't belong in our lives in any way. Let's keep in mind always some fundamental rules that might, because so much went wrong in childhood, be the fruit of decades of inner work. If they're still deciding but haven't yet, we must leave them. If they're taking ages to reply to simple messages, we must leave them. If they're flirting elsewhere, we must leave them. If we need to explain to them why they should want to be with us, we must leave them. If they are wrestling with psychological issues for which we have boundless sympathy, but which mean they cannot be kind or present, we must leave them. If they're not infinitely proud of us, we must leave them. If we have given them several good chances and they didn't listen, we must leave them. And leave them means exactly that. Ensure they are no longer in our lives, that they don't occupy the slightest space in our cupboards or our thoughts, that there are no more reminders of them anywhere in our consciousness, that we've expelled them like the emotional poisons there are. It is a complicating factor, but no more than that we may be married to them, that we may have already invested 5 years with them, that sex is great with them, that we find them beautiful or clever. None of this means anything. None of this is love. All this might escape our notice for a tragic reason, because for some of us, our childhoods will have deeply muddled our emotional mechanisms. They will have given us a sense that to love is to pine, that to love is to hope to persuade a damaged person, who might initially present as sweet and dependable, that we are good enough, that we're never in the right relationship until we feel ignored, uncomfortable, and harshly evaluated, that the only person we really need love from is someone who isn't wholly persuaded by us. We can't afford such self-torture and self-abandonment any longer. We need to come down firmly on our own side at last. The self-hatred has gone on long enough. Most people won't think we're fabulous, and that's entirely their right. We simply need to make sure that we don't ever mistake such types for characters we might love. We need to grow sane enough to allow ourselves to locate, hold on to, and tolerate a true ally. This isn't in any way entitled, this isn't brittle. We deserve to be adored where we adore. Anything less isn't romantic, it's self-abandonment. It deserves to be seen for what it is, a legacy of a letdown that we didn't deserve then and don't deserve now. We will have understood love when we know that the emotion is in no way about self-sacrifice. It's about two people who feel constantly blessed to have met and who care infinitely for one another. When this finally feels obvious, we'll be home.
That's right, Terps. Terps, when I started this, Terps, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. Relationships are complicated, relationships are complicated, but they get even more complicated when we're immature, when we don't know what the fuck we want. No, we got all of this drama. We know we're jealous. We know we're problematic. We know we get mad about fucking anything. We got short fucking tempers. You got to work on that shit. Straight up, like, how are you just gonna walk into somebody's life and maybe they're cool, maybe they're kicking it, maybe they have a good life, good friends, and a good relationship with their parents, and then here you come trying to steal their attention, trying to like keep them from their loved ones, keep them from their family, all suspicious of everybody. It's like they didn't know you, they don't know, they're barely meeting you. Now you want to be everything in their life. It doesn't work that way. A lot of motherfuckers are straight control freaks. Don't Shouldn't be in a relationship. If you're a control freak, you need to like think about that shit. That's why, I can't control people out here on YouTube, you know? I can't control what their loyalties are going to be, or what if they're going to be true allies or not, like we heard at the end. A lot of this can apply to the relationships that we form here on YouTube, especially when we talk about being in a revolution, being a team, doing all of these things. Like I gotta be able to trust a person that's riding with me all day long. Just like back in the day, I had friends, but I had my closest inner circle, the ones that we just went and did all kinds of things, and it was always up kept between us. Nobody else knew what we were doing out there. You know, just because the less people know about certain shit, the better. Straight up. And that should be real even now. There are things that you should not be disclosing to just anybody. And you got to think about it. You got to think, like, who am I disclosing my shit to? But getting back to this, man, that's right, Terps, Taco saying, hey, man, shout out to the 21 that are watching. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's Ftdk's dropping on Talking Papas live on a Fiending Friday Part 2. Some people fiend for things that they're not ready for. And right now we're talking about fiending to be in a relationship, fiending to be with someone. As a man, obviously, I enjoy being with a woman. But am I ready for a relationship, or do I just want something physical? These things need to be said up front. Don't play with people's emotions. Don't play with people's time. Don't play with people's hearts. No, be honest, be true, man. Like, you may be attracted to someone. You may like that someone physically, but maybe that you've got other shit going on and you're not going to be able to spend too much time with them. Let them know, man. Let them know so they can make a right decision, so they can decide whether to let you in or not. And then you have to be honest with yourself when you're letting someone into your life as well. If someone's telling you, look, man, I don't really want anything too serious, I'm trying to just kick it. Maybe you want something serious, but you accept that. You accept that trade, right? You're like, okay, well, all right, I can be with you just, every now and then. But secretly, you're trying to get that person in a relationship with you. That's all bad. That's all bad, because all you're doing is setting yourself up for a disappointment and for failure. No, you got to be real. You have to be honest. That's why I told you guys. That's why I played that song. Played again from my sister Park. What you see is what you get. You got to be that. You have whatever people see. Whatever you want people to see in you, that's what you have to give them all the time. You can't be half stepping. You can't be bullshitting, because you will be found out. You will be exposed straight up for the liar that you are. Frank Tica's dropping Nas Talking Papas live on a Fiendin Friday, Fiendin Part 2. This is Part 2 because we have Part 1. Part 1, we were talking about shit. Now we're talking about some other shit. but anyways, man, yeah, that's why I think that You have to be good with yourself before you can get into a situation, because what you may be causing or creating is even bigger problems for yourself. Now it's not just you that's affected with your fucking, demons and everything that you're fucking going through, addictions, insecurities, trauma, but now you're adding it to another person's life. And maybe this other person has her own drama, has her own trauma, has her own baggage, has her own skeletons that they're carrying around. And adding those up with yours is fucking Pandora's box. It's chaos, it's disorder. And why do you want to build that with someone? Terps, that's right. Online loyalty is crazy. They flip faster than Joker drinks beers. It's crazy. Look, and so here's the thing, man. I don't know why people operate that way. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand it. That's why I said, look, when I come out here, I don't fake the funk. I am who I am. What matters to me is everything out here. This to me is a hobby. But if I meet good people and we can get connected and we can have conversation, it's all good. I appreciate it. I look forward to meeting people. But, under like just normal circumstances. Like, why are people trying to be weird online? Like, it doesn't make sense. But once again, it's because people have still have and walk around with a lot of unresolved situations in their mind, in their heart, in their soul. They walk around like fucking knots. But then they fake the funk, they smile at you, they act all happy and shit, like everything's good. But then when you finally get through to them and you finally get to meet them, it's like, wait a minute, you're a fucking walking knot of confusion. You got so much anger, so much resentment in you, jealousy, enviousness. And it's fucking crazy. And sometimes you don't see it until some time passes. That's the thing, Terps, is sometimes we don't see shit until some time passes. And why and what is it, once again, that I always tell you guys? You got to sit back, watch, and observe. Like, that's my philosophy. But you guys can take it, sit back, watch, and observe. Everybody, even those, especially those that say they love you, especially those that say, "Oh, we're down." Ooh, ooh, oh, 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 really? Okay, okay. We'll see. I mean, right now everything's peaceful. Everything's peace of the sea of tranquility over here, like on the moon, right? Sea of tranquility, everyone's golden, everyone's happy, everyone can kick back, shoot the shit, share with each other. But once the shit hits the fan and you're pressed a little bit, what's your reaction gonna be? Now, if you've been faking the funk, your reaction may be unexpected to a lot of people. But then when you keep reacting that way and you keep fucking acting, there's like, oh, okay, this was a fucking pressure case. Or she's a pressure case. No, or she's sensitive. She's fucking jealous. She's fucking insecure. Like, you guys show these things. You guys demonstrate these things by the way you act, by the way you move. You don't got to say it. No one is, you don't got to come out and say, I'm sensitive. You don't got to come out and say, I'm a liar. Like, we know, bitch, we're seeing you. We're fucking watching. We're fucking sitting back, watching and observing. Do that more often. Do that. But do that to you as well. Look, I remember when I started like really, really tripping on myself, like, man, I got a lot of shit to work on. I made a very conscious decision to watch how I reacted to things. Like, that's why I said, take your time. As soon as something got me hot, like got me upset, I would make it, and I would force myself to step back and look at what was bothering me and why. And a lot of times it was just bullshit. It was just me fucking reacting to stupid shit. Like, this shit's gonna have power over me. This thing's gonna have power over me. Fuck that shit. And once you start taking away the power, once you start taking off those triggers, like removing the triggers, removing the trip wire, of the shit that always gets you hot, that always makes you blow up. Once you start doing that, then you realize that a lot of the shit that we get angry about or we're insecure about is some fucking way fucking bullshit. Straight up. That's right. Hey, El Benny de Cali, saludos, shots. Hey, saludos to you, big bro. How's it going, man? You know, we're over here talking papas. Frank Tica's dropping us talking papas on the Fiendin Friday part 2. Now, I was going to tell you, so let me tell you a little story. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little story about how I got involved in some shit that I shouldn't have gotten myself involved in. All right, so there was this dude who was a close friend of mine. His sister and I, we got along. Like we all got along. Sister, man, beautiful girl, man. But I didn't have eyes. Like I can see a beautiful woman, but it doesn't. If I don't have any intentions or any relationship, I can be cool and I can be friends. I can be friends with women. You know, I know that sometimes that's hard, but I can be friends with women. So we were very close friends, and I think that I listened to her too much in the sense that I cared about them. And she was going out with this guy that I knew. Like they were together, right? They were going out. Sometimes they had problems. I knew that fool was a player, but he was somewhat of a buddy of mine. So obviously I wasn't going to tell her shit. I knew he was a player though, right? And but you know, I respected her. I got along with her brother, but I was caught in the middle because man, I kind of know this guy. He's a fucking player, and she's a friend that I care about. I wouldn't want her to get hurt, but fuck, I just got to keep my mouth shut. Because that's how it is. That's how it is sometimes. Sometimes you just got to let people find out on their own the type of motherfucker that they're with. Either way, girl has to find out who the guy is. Guy has to find out who the girl is. Sometimes you cannot get in the middle of that shit. You just have to let them figure it out. Hi, everyone on my lunch break. Enjoying some papas. That's right, Hangman Stranger. Shout out to you, my brother. Terps, that's right, Hangman Stranger. Ill Mannered, shout out to you, my friend. Ill Mannered, Mags in the house. Hey, thank you guys for being here, for supporting me, for watching me. I got 27 people watching. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. So one day I go in, you know, I go to my friend's house and he's all like tripping out. He's tripping out. I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, what's wrong, fool? He's like, nah, man, my sister. I'm like, what happened to your sister? She's like, that fool fucking hit her, which was this buddy of mine. He hit her. I'm like, what? Yeah. And so she wasn't there, right? She wasn't there. So she didn't tell me. My friend told me, and I'm thinking he's being 100% with me. Where I'm like, well, he hit her how? Yeah, she just, you know, they were like, I guess they got into an argument. He pushed her, and you know, and that's fucked up. And I'm like, oh hell no. So you know, ill mannered. That's right, Mags. Ill mannered, Mags. Cali. That's right. We don't want to believe it. Yeah, yeah, we don't want to believe it, but it happens. But yeah, so I'm like, nah, serio. Oh fuck. I'm like, I can't let that shit happen. You know, I know this fool's a player. I know he's doing her dirty. That's my buddy. But I care about this person. I care about this girl. You know, they're like family to me. So I fuck up and I go over. I'm like, hey fool, why you put hands on her, fool? Like I went over, hey, why'd you put hands on homegirl? He's like, what the fuck are you talking about, fool? Like he got mad like real quick. And so when he reacted that way, I was like, oh, okay, so it's true. So it's true. And I'm like, nah, fool, you're fucking up. And we got down. We got down. About an hour later, she drives up to where I'm kicking it with, you know, with my friends, whatever. He's like, hey, you know, I know my brother told you this, but this and this. And oh, man. She's like, no, he didn't hit me. He didn't really push me. I'm the one who fucking talked shit to him, and I slapped him. So he got, you know, he pushed me out of the way and left. You know, but it bothered me, whatever, blah, blah. And, you know, my brother came. I told him that he had pushed me away. I guess he got the wrong message. He told you the wrong thing. And I had already gotten down with homeboy. Like for being an idiot, like for listening, for taking someone's narrative without context, without shit. I got in the middle of a situation that I shouldn't have gotten myself involved in. But once again, it's because it's credible. Sometimes it's credible to believe that someone hit somebody based on how they act, based on how they move, you know? And so that got me to where, man, now I got to be very careful because what I told myself was this: look, If I thought wrong, fuck it. I got the wrong information. Fuck it. Yeah, still, what's done is done. Like 2 3 weeks later, homeboy and I, we started drinking. We got, hey, don't trip. I understand. Fool, whatever, right? And we were friends, and we've been friends ever since. But that taught me something. It's like, sometimes you don't know what the fuck is going on, and you could take somebody's word for it because you believe them, and then come to find out that it's fucking bullshit. So you got to be careful. That's why I always say you guys got to kick back. You got to kick back. Even when there's a relationship, when there's something going on between two people, you may not want to be too involved unless you can be like the peacemaker. If you've got the ability to be the peacemaker, do so. If there is danger and you know that there's danger and you can help in that situation, do so. Like, I'm an advocate for that. But don't jump in to help somebody out if they haven't personally told you what's going on and you haven't made sure that what they're telling you is 100% true. That's right, Terps. That's right, Oakland. Ill mannered. Maggie's in the house. That's right, CBD. MLR. Cali Big Dog. That's right. Let me catch up with these chats real quick. That's right, Terps. That's right, man. Hey, thanks for everyone watching. There's 27 people watching. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Let me see, Terps. We did that to our homie and homegirl. An hour later, they were back together. Yeah. That's another thing, and that's why I tell people you may end up looking like an idiot. Like, here you go, fucking defending someone's honor, and then she turns around and be like, "Oh, why'd you do that to my boyfriend? Why'd you hit him?" Like, bitch, weren't you just saying? Or vice versa. Like, we talk shit to homegirl, and homeboy's like, "Hey, why are you talking shit to?" Weren't you saying she cheated on you? Nah, fool, it's because I said that. Ah, come on, bro. You cannot win. You cannot win. Do not get yourself involved in situations. Now, if your eyes see the violence, if your eyes see it and you're there, then you better do something about it. That's all I can say. You know, that's all I can say. Keep your chorizo out of their Kool-Aid. Yeah, you got to sometimes. Unless you are a witness to something happening, you need to be able to stop it and get everybody out of the way and get everyone into safety. Because there may be situations that get out of hand that, reach a boiling point, and you might be there and it just blows up and you're like, oh shit, we can't let this continue. And then it's okay to get involved. But if you haven't seen it, if you weren't there, if you weren't a witness, keep your fucking chorizo out that shit, like you said. That's right, ill. That's right, Benny. Yeah, man, look, but sometimes you learn the hard way. Sometimes you learn the hard way. Sometimes you do. And if you're out there if you're putting your business out there for everyone to see, expect motherfuckers to come out here and start pressuring you. And if you're a pressure case and you blow up, like, what are you doing in a relationship? Like, how are you going to be in a relationship when everything fucking stresses you out? Everything blows you up. Everything. Someone says this, you're blowing up. Someone says hi, you blow up. Someone doesn't say hi, you blow up. Someone says, hey, you're looking good today. Hey, you look good today. You look nice. Someone says that to your husband. Hey, you look nice. Hey, you look handsome today. Maybe it's a female. Like, what's going to be your reaction? Are you going to trip out? Because if you're tripping out when someone compliments your better half, if you trip out when someone compliments your better half, then you are a weirdo. Straight up. Like, you should be happy that they're complimenting your better half because, yeah, feel lucky. Feel fortunate to have such an attractive person by your side. They could have been with anybody, but they're with you. And if they're with you, why are you constantly pushing them away with your insecurities, your bullshit, your violence, your non-action, you're not having a job, not paying the bills, like you're just fucking leeching and shit? Like, what do you bring to the relationship? And I'm talking to both men and women. If all you bring is drama, you can keep that shit. Keep that shit. Go home with that. Hey, remember when we used to say back in the day, man, save the drama for your motherfucking mama. Yeah, save the drama for your mama. No, she'll deal with it. But nobody should have to deal with your bullshit, man. But once again, Once again, sometimes we're fiending for that human touch, for human companionship, yet we don't work on ourselves. So what do we bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? Frank Tica's dropping now. It's talking Papa's Live, Fiendin' Friday Part 2. That's right, Mags. That's right. That's right, ill mannered. Hey, shout out to everybody that's watching. Got 25 people watching. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. But once again, look, that's why I trip out like with all of these fools, like what I was talking about earlier today in the first live. I trip out on these fools when they talk about, oh, we know who you are. No, you don't. You don't know me, bitch. Like, you don't know the what I've already had to go through, you know? And that's what I want to leave you guys with. Like, do the work, do the work, do the work, man. Don't believe that shit that, hey, I am this way. This is how I am. I'm going to die like this. I can't change. Yeah, yes, you can. But you have to want to change. Sometimes we just like to excuse ourselves and not put in the work because we're lazy. And we feel that they have to take us for who we are. No, they don't. People don't have to take you for who you are. Not at all. Hey, what's up, Torta Pounder? What it do? Well, we've been talking papas over here, man. Shout out to Torta Pounder. Shout out to Mags, everybody in his house. Oakland, someone else at La Chulea, but you don't compliment her. Yes. Or you're always talking shit about her. Oh, you're going to wear that? That doesn't look good on you. This and that. You're over here talking shit. Trust me, someone out there is going to be fiending. They're going to be fiending. And vice versa. Deberías de chulear a tu marido, a tu esposo, chulealo. Hey, you look good, papi. you know? Let them know, let them know, let them know. Listen, sometimes the woman doesn't want the man to cheat, but they're at home frigid as fuck. Frigid, colder than the freezer. No, you don't want to give any love. You don't want to give any compassion. But sometimes there's things that happen that make people not want to fuck with you physically. If you're constantly talking shit, if you're constantly putting somebody down, you can't expect them to be ready to just give you all their love if you've been putting them down all day. That's right, tortasa, everyone, even the haters, even the lurkers, even the lurkers. That's right, exactly, Oakland. Y se enojan, se enojan. Oakland, everything, ¿verdad que sí? Everyone's throwing their 2 cents in. Hey, man, that's a pretty good topic. Hey, shout out to everybody. Benny said no. Benny said no. Benny Mags. Hey, shout out to everybody, man. That's kicking it, watching this live with me, chilling. I'm about to jump off, but before I jump off, I'm gonna go ahead and play my song, man. This is dedicated to everybody. This is my dedication to all of you. Those of you that are a part of the Exposed to Revolution and are down with my channel, hey, you guys know what's up, man. You're not going to take any offense to it because I know that you could probably say the same thing. What you see is what you get. What you see right here is what you're going to get all the time. Frank Tica's dropping now. It's talking papas. I am who I am, and that's all that I am. I'm no more. I'm no less. I'm just who I say I am. We're going to go ahead and put this up. Give me a second, guys. I had played this before, but we're going to play it again. We're going to play it again. All right. This is the Dramatics. The Dramatics. Give me a second, guys. Okay. Shout out to everybody once again. Shout out to everybody. That's right, Mags. Let's see. Steve Curry's wife was hating on because she enjoyed Los Piropos. Hey, listen, man. There's a soccer player from Brazil. His name is Kaká. That's a funny name, I know, but it's Kaka. It's his last name. Everyone knows him as Kaká. One of the best soccer players in the world. Christian, man, like Christian to a T. Like he's like straight up Christian. Had a wife, kids, beautiful wife. The dude's a pretty good looking dude. They had it all, and she divorced him. And you know why she divorced him? And you guys can go look it up. She said he was too nice. She divorced him. Millionaire, famous soccer player, Christian, treated her like a queen. And she said, I left him because he was too good for me. So, you got to know where you're getting into, man. You got to, get in where you fit in. Sometimes we try to force shit and it breaks because we force it. We're putting too much pressure into it. If it doesn't, if you got to pressure something, if you got to keep pressuring a relationship, maybe that's not a relationship you should be in. And check yourself. Why are you pressuring? Maybe you got issues. You shouldn't even be in a relationship. But once again, Ftdk's dropping nine stocking papas live on a Fiendin Friday. Hey, man, what you see is what you get. Let's get it.
Some people are made of plastic.
And you know some people are made of wood.
Some people have hearts of stone. Some people are up to no good.
But baby, I'm for real. I'm as real as a real can get. If what you're looking for is real loving, then what you see is what you get. Ha! What you see,
What you see
is what you get.
is what you get.
What you see,
What you see
is what you get.
is what you get.
I said what you see is what you get, now baby.
Is what you get.
And real thing is the best thing yet.
The best thing yet. Chuck. You know.
Some people are made of lies to bring you down and shame your name. But baby, I have good intentions.
Good intention.
Because a breaking heart just ain't my game.
Ain't my game.
All I want to do is love you. And sugar, I won't feel you with regret. No, no. If what you're looking for is real loving,
Real loving.
then what you see is what you get. I got to say it again. What you see
What you see
is what you get.
is what you get.
Look at me. What you see
What you see
is what you get.
is what you get.
I mean, what you see is what you get, now, baby.
Is what you get.
And the real thing is the best thing yet.
The best thing yet.
Oh. What you see is what you get. I got a real love. Gonna get it. I got a real, you can have it all. What you see, baby, baby, is what you get.
Is what you get.
Look at me now. What you see
What you see
is what you get.
is what you get.
Got to say it now. What you see
What you see
is what you get.
is what you get.
Every day now. What you see
What you see
got to be what you get.
is what you get.
Got to say what you see, baby, baby, is what you get.
Is what you get.
I got to really love what you see.
What you see
Got to be what you get.
is what you get.
Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. It's what you get. I got to really love what you see.
That's right. That was the dramatics. What you see is what you get. Yeah, and listen, man, all I'm telling you is this. Be who you are, be yourself, but also recognize if you got a bunch of issues, if you're the problem, admit that you're the problem. No, don't try to gaslight people into thinking they're the problem when you're the one that's got all the traumas and all the baggage and all the bullshit. If you're over there getting upset because someone is telling your wife or your girlfriend, "Hey, you look good today," are you saying it enough? Are you saying it enough? Like, are you truly thankful for having this person in your life? Regardless, look, a lot of these fools want to come. Like, so I'm gonna say this, man. Hey, Taco Stain, shout out to my brother Taco Stain, man. I'm gonna tell you guys like this, man. No, none of us here, none of us that are adults, that are married, that have children, we're gonna ride hard for our families all the time. Those of us that are true, we will continue to do what we do for our families every single day. That's why I do what I do. Outside of this, I am constantly going to think about my family and what's best for them. I don't give a fuck about none of your narratives. I don't give a fuck none of that shit. You guys are fiending for that attention. You can continue to fiend, but what you're gonna see in me is what you see. I'm gonna stay true. I'm gonna stay honest. I'm gonna continue to fight for my family and fight for those that are down with me. I'm going to continue to be down for the Exposed Tube Revolution. Shout out to ET. I'm going to continue to be down for the ladies of Exposed Tube. Shout out to Miss Yaya, Oakland, everything who's been joining and I is a part of it, and everybody that's down with the Exposed Tube Revolution. Shout out to Taco Stain. Shout out to Hangman Stranger, Chirps, Sooners, everybody, man. Runner's Pug, Katie Frizzle, Ill Mannered Mags. There's too many to mention. Fear of the Dark, Shankopotamus, Popeye, Mr. Oxnard. Well, there's a lot of us. No, and I just want you guys to know that I'm going to continue being who I am all the time. Let's see. Ex-husband tried to change me and said you didn't meet me that way. So why are you expecting to be like that? Exactly, Oakland. Exactly. We cannot force anybody. We cannot change anybody. That's the fallacy. That's the fucked up belief sometimes that we think that we're gonna walk into someone's lives and change them. Nah, man. If you're gonna walk into someone's life, it's because you like them, you love them for who they are, for what they're showing you now, not for what you think they should be. If you're already thinking about, oh man, this woman's fine, but I gotta get her off the streets. Oh, you're fucking up. You're fucking up because if she likes it out there, she's gonna be out there. Same with dudes. Same with them fucking weirdos and them player types that never want to settle down. Mama's boys. Like, if you think you're gonna change that type of person, well, think again. It's not gonna happen. Wanted female ranch hand must enjoy walks in the desert. Submit your application. Must enjoy roughing it in more ways than one. That's right. That's right. That's right. Old Mandarin Hangman Stranger. Little ill. That's right, man. Let's see. 77 EQ just hit Indonesia. Oh wow, that's crazy, bro. Hey man, there's been a lot of earthquakes. There's been some shaking on my end too. There's been shaking here, but thank God that we're okay and got we gotta keep praying and hopefully everything's good. Mr. Oxnard, that's right, Big Frank team. Hey, Mr. Oxnard, you know what's up, man. You know what's up. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everyone watching. Thank you guys so much. I got 20 people. If you haven't hit the like, please do so. I just want you to take a look at the sky out here. It looks like it's gonna rain. You see that? Looks like it's gonna rain. Might rain in a little while. That's right, Primo Mixer Oxnard. All right, guys. So I'm gonna shut it down. I just appreciate every single one of you for being here, being on this live. You already know what's up with me. It don't stop. Frank Dika's dropping non-stocking Papa's live with a little bit of a message, little bit of knowledge. I won't be dropping any more videos today. I'll probably drop one tomorrow, maybe a short. But I am going to be working on a longer video, and I think that one will be out on Sunday. So stay tuned for that. Catch you all on the live with ET later on tonight. I think there's battle boxes tonight as well. We'll see what happens. Hey, man, we'll see what the fuck happens, man. But anyway, shout out to everybody. Have a great evening. Have a great rest of the day. And until next time,